So, you love tea and you're in Hong Kong and you got some time to kill, maybe a few days. It's a good idea to nip across the border into Fengchun, Guangzhou in China and check out all the amazing tea. There's 2,000 reported shops here in Fengchun tea market. Tea shops. 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 It's tough, it's difficult, but it is possible. This is the Fengchun Tea Market Survival Guide. First thing you need to know that getting a visa to get into China is complicated. It's not as easy as it was before. These guys, for a start, they're going to charge you about 1,200 Hong Kong dollars for an entry in and out of China. That's a hefty amount. That's about over 100 quid, 110, 115 pounds. They're also going to want to know where you stay as well. This is something you need to bear in mind because you can't just rock up to the border and try and get in, because they're going to say, you know, where's your visa? Have you paid the money? Where are you staying? You just won't be allowed in. Second of all, we need to know that when you cross the border into China, it's a little bit dodgy. There are a lot of scammers. You don't want to get a taxi anywhere. You don't actually need to get a taxi. You just need to get the train into Guangzhou. But anyone touting a taxi on the border is basically a scam. Don't go near them. Also, you need to worry about your luggage. Even the tea guru himself, he left his luggage lying around for a little while he was trying to get some tickets. I turned around very quickly and I saw two guys sort of started to hover around my luggage, and I quickly nabbed it towards me. A policeman came up and said, you need to be careful, you need to be next to your luggage. Just grab whatever they can and run. You just got to be careful of that. You also need to be super careful, because if you lose your passport for whatever reason, you're in some serious trouble. Because your passport is so important here. Without your passport, you can't get a train back to Hong Kong, you can't get a hotel room, you're pretty screwed. Now, if you do lose your passport, if you're in this very unfortunate situation, the best advice is to not go to your nearest police station, because I've heard that you can, all they can do is effectively lock you up for a while they work out how to get you back to the border, which can take time. The best thing, if you do have money, if in this situation, the best thing to do is to grab a taxi, pay that extortionate amount of money you're going to have to pay to get to the border, and then when you get to the border, you explain your situation. It's going to go a lot more fluid for you than if you were in Guangzhou. Once you're here, you know, hotels are cheap. It's about 200 RMB per room per night, so it's not too bad at all. One thing you're going to have to work out is the language barrier. I mean, you can kind of get by with a little bit of Wi-Fi, pointing at the sort of cakes you like. I'll try that, I'll try that, I'll try that. If you don't speak Cantonese, or if you're not with someone that speaks Cantonese or Mandarin, you've got a bit of a problem. It is possible, but you need to be a bit more careful, especially when just turning up for the first time. You're going to be darting in and out of tea shops, and people will know just by your general demeanour that you are inexperienced in buying tea. They're going to pick up on that, and you're more susceptible to the potential issues you can get by buying tea from effectively strangers out here. So connections are really important when you come to Tea City, and the only way to gain connections really is by coming here. The more you come here, the more you learn about how business is done here, and you work out your local tea suppliers. So now I'm surrounded by absolutely shed loads of white tea wholesalers, but I generally only stick to the one seller that I've built up trust with for their products and their prices. One little scam that I got the misfortune to be on the end of first time I hit Tea Town was the bait and switch. So these guys let me try some tea. It was okay tea. Hello, how are you? So the bait and switch. So you know, I tried some tea. It was mediocre tea. I didn't pay a lot for it, but when I got the tong home to the UK and I tried the tea, it was nothing like the tea that I tasted when I was there. It was terrible. I to this day I've just left it there. I should throw it out really. But the bait and switch, you need to be very careful about what you are getting, and you know, this sort of thing can happen to an unexperienced tea buyer. It's a big bloody teapot. So I guess the last thing to cover is haggling. Haggling isn't a no-no, but it's not always well received in every single tea shop. If you ask me, haggling is, well, when a tea shop refuses to haggle, to me that's a really good sign, because I don't like to deal with tea shops that that create fairy tales, is not exactly being forthright with the truth. If they're giving you a price which is inflated, and then they drop the price at the drop of a hat, half price or something crazy like that, you can't really instill a lot of respect for the product that you're buying from them. So I see, you know, sometimes these places you can, when you start haggling, you can get them down maybe 70%. I've seen it, I've had it, but I stay away from such places these days. Some places won't haggle at all. You know, you can be buying tongs and tongs or a case or whatever it is, and you get down to nitty gritty price wise, and you'll just get a no. I kind of like that. So you know, it's really down to the individual seller and how they prefer to do business. Anyway, this has been the Fortune Tea City Survival Guide. Ollie, the Tea Guru, signing out.